Well, I'm doing a little bit of traveling. Not too far from home, a bit of a staycation. But anyway, I decided to make a video today that is going to be about my experiences with Zoloft. Well, you see, guys, I did the videos on the boost bar, did the videos on the Wellbutrin, and now to round out the trifecta of all the drugs that I'm taking, I'm going to add one more to the list. That, my friends, is an SSRI. Yes, I finally got around to it. Taking an SSRI, serotonin reuptake inhibitor, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, excuse me. And I am on week 3. Why didn't I do week 2 and week 1? Because I was in bad shape. But I'm week 3 and it's much, much better. I think what was great about my past videos is I did videos when I was not doing so good, not doing so hot. And do I look so great? Do I look so hot? No. I look terrible, but I feel okay. So I'm just going to chronicleize the 3 weeks that I was doing the SSRIs. On top of that, I'm doing 10 milligrams of Boost Bar, and I'm doing 150 XL, 150 milligrams of Wellbutrin. So on top of that, I'm adding the SSRI, and I'm doing 25 whopping milligrams of Zoloft, also known as sertraline. It's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. I take it in the morning with all the rest of my drugs. I take one pill, 25 milligrams, and it sees me through the day. So let's get into the nit-grit. So first week, I took the Zoloft. I actually felt really good. What? Robert, why do you say these things and no one else says these things? Why is your experience so different than everyone else's? Well, because everyone has a different brain. I have a different brain. My brain is different than everyone else's. And some people, they get no reactions. Some people get deeply negative, severe reactions on their first week. Sometimes people call it hell week or hell weeks, the first couple of weeks. My reaction for the first week was really positive. Really positive. And other people would be like, you can't possibly know how it's working in the first week. It was all placebo. Well, you don't know that for sure. Nobody does. And some people also describe having very positive reactions to it the first week. And I'm one of those people. The second week, however, was so terrible. My second week was so very bad. I had really, really bad reaction the second week. Well, not really bad, because a lot of people have it way worse than me. But the first thing that was horrible was that I was exhausted. I would take this in the morning. And I wake up in the morning and feel like pretty good, actually. I feel like fine. You know, my other drugs are working and have been working, so I wake up pretty fine. But I would take the Zoloft, and I would, in probably like an hour to 2 hours, I would be so effing tired. Exhausted, like literally laying on the floor, tired, exhausted, and weak. I felt weak, like no energy, no strength, and I couldn't do anything. I mean, I eventually did. I had to work. I had to go to work, you know, because I have to feed myself and put a roof over my head. Can't be homeless on the streets. I mean, unfortunately, that is the option for some people, but not for me. So I went to work, and I just felt bad, just really bad. And my anxiety, I got some anxiety that returned. It wasn't terrible, but it was pretty bad, because I haven't been really feeling anxiety quite like that in a while. I felt like an absolute zombie. And so that thing, it's called emotional blunting, is what a lot of people talk about when they talk about SSRIs. They go, I don't feel anything. I don't want to do anything. I have no motivation. I have no libido. I have no desire to do anything. I just want to sleep. I just want to eat. I just want to watch Netflix. I just want to close my eyes, curl up in a ball, and sit in the closet and rock ever so gently back and forth. My second week was really bad. And I would go to work, and people were like, are you okay? Are you sad? You look tired. Like, people were just telling me that. They're coming up to me like, you look tired. Are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I was just not in good shape at all. And it was kind of scary. It was kind of scary. I also got a little bit snappy. I was irritable. Um, I turned into a little bit of a jerk, an a-hole, a bastard. No, I wasn't that bad, but I was pretty bad. And yeah, really irritable and not as pleasant, not pleasant that second week. And I just didn't think, I just was like, when will this end? Because I was just so tired. And then the weird thing is I'd be tired all day, and then I would try to go to sleep, and then I couldn't go to sleep. What a cruel world. I just was so tired, dragging my feet, couldn't even lift the weight of my own head like a young baby. Couldn't lift the weight of my own head. I was just like looking down, just dragging myself from place to place. And when I would go to put my head to the cool side of the pillow, I could not sleep. So I was in a weird place week 2. I was like, well, I had week 1, and week 1 was kind of amazing. It kind of was amazing. It was like a breakthrough. I was like, everything was so great at work. I was able to communicate in a kind of clear, assertive way that I hadn't been able to communicate before. I was feeling good. I didn't feel like too high or anything. I just felt like good and confident and nice, knock on wood, if this is wood. So I was like, okay, so something good is happening. Something good is happening, and maybe I should stick with it. But I just was like, that week 2, I was like, oh no, did I take too much? Am I having a bad reaction? Is this how it's going to be like from this point on? How I screwed up my brain chemicals? And I knew to stick in there because I had similar-ish experiences with the Boost Bar, had similar-ish experiences with Wellbutrin, and I went, you know what? I know I got to stick in there, Bobby boy. I know I got to stick in there and just stay the course. And so I just kept persisting and kept going forward, and it was bad. And I got in a couple fights with people. It was really a really awful week. And, it was just a week, but it felt like an eternity. And I think that's why a lot of people really quit, because that week, the first couple of weeks, it really just feels so long. It feels so dragged out because it's so miserable. I didn't get any brain zaps or any GI distress, or I lost weight that first 2 weeks. I really lost quite a bit of weight. I lost like 6-7 pounds, I think. They had no desire to eat. But one thing I did notice on my second week, even though I was really zombified out, even though I was like full undead mode, personality-wise, I did notice that the things that bothered me, before, I was able to get some sort of more control on them. So it was weird because I felt like my personality was slipping through my fingers and just oozing out of my head, leaking out of my ears. I felt my personality was leaving me, which was scary, but at the same time, I was starting to get this ability to not be bothered and not to fixate on things, because that's what I do. I fixate on things and obsess over things, and I spin them in my mind over and over and over and over again, and I make myself sick mentally and physically ill. And I found that even though I was like exhausted all the time, there's some things that I knew previously would have bothered me. I was able to put them aside in my head. It was almost like before I would have some thought come into my mind, and I'd be like, replay, and then just like unwanted thoughts would just kind of keep coming to my brain. And now I got to a point where I was like, unwanted thought, and I could now kind of like distract myself and kind of like push it off to the side. So I was like kind of in a weird place, because I was like, well, I've never been able to do that before, and that's a wonderful superpower. It seemed like a superpower to me. I know some people are able to push things off to the side that bother them. They're like, just don't think about it. Think positive thoughts. People used to say that to me when I was depressed. Don't be depressed. Think positive thoughts. Just distract yourself. Just don't think about it. And I was like, you don't even know what I'm experiencing. You don't understand this. This is really depression. Then, at the end of week 2, I was like, oh, I can really distract myself. If I have negative thoughts, I can actually really push them aside and just be positive. Or not positive, but just like think about something else, anything else. If I have a problem, I know that with enough time, I'll just get over it because I can just push things out of my head. Whereas before, I couldn't get anything out of my head on my own volition. I'd have to talk them out or some other method, or just like wait them out, but it would be kind of agonizing, an agonizing process. So anyway, I was like, oh, this is great. So I don't have any personality, but I can do this thing now that I've never been able to do, which is just like manage the negative thoughts in my head. So that was cool. I was like, oh, shoot, it's weird. Is this like the trade-off? So anyway, that was my week 2. And then week 3 came along. And almost like in one day, my personality started to come back. It wasn't fully there, but it started to seep back. And I was like kind of smiling again. I was kind of in a good mood. And I could kind of hold a conversation again. And I was like, oh, I'm starting to remember what it is to be a person. And then into my week 3, I just finished my 3rd week. So I'm going to my week 4 right now. I just finished my 3rd week and things feel a lot more normal. So still on 25 milligrams. And I actually think I'm going to stay here on 25 milligrams. At the very most, I'm going to go 50 milligrams. But I think I'm going to stay 25 milligrams and see what happens because I feel pretty good. For the most part. We're just going to stick with this for now and see where this takes me. But that was my experience. I'm going to keep on. And you guys who are just starting off, maybe you're having a hard time in week 1, maybe you're having a difficult time in week 2. Hang in there. Por favor. Hang in there. It will get better. And I mean, I'm not a physician or nothing, but I would say I don't know. Doctors try to rush to 50 to 100, 150 to 200 milligrams. Push. And that works for some people. Some people after 2 weeks go to 50 milligrams. Some people after 1 month go to 50 milligrams. It was suggested to me to go to 50 after a month, so I'm not quite there yet. But I'm hanging at 25, and it's pretty good for me. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching. My hair is a mess. Maybe I'll manage it at this point in the day. But, it's kind of late, so I'm just looking to look like a mess the whole day. And that's fine. It's fine with me. Take care, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your subscription. Leave any comments down below. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for sticking in there with me, and wish you the best of health.